time for you to start working on your book list. And I believe your children have got those book lists from school, for the school that my grandchildren goes to. They've managed to give out the book list. I'm beginning to work towards the book list now, checking on their uniforms. Come these last few weeks of school, I've set aside the uniform that are still looking new for them not to use. So they are actually running within the worn out uniform until the end of the year, because the year end, and that's the end of their uniform as well. But for the ones that are still looking new, I'm keeping them to take them through to next year, because I only have 2 boys now to go back to school for next year, while the other 2 are going on to uni, or they finish off from year 13. Yeah. And when you look at your children, try and plan it that way. If you have sons, then you will know. If this bigger son go on and the uniform doesn't fit him, check on the son I know that is under, or the younger one, on how their uniform still fit, or whether you still have to, if you buy, maybe you buy 1 or 2 new ones. That's one thing that I'm doing for mine now. The 2 older ones, they were in year 13, I had a year 12, and I had a year 11 and a year 10. So now I'm trying to work with the new uniforms they've just had for the year 13, whether that can fit my year 12 for next year moving forward, which means I can save a bit of money for the budget allocation for the uniforms that I had anticipated. Now I can save a few dollars from there just by thinking out that some uniforms can still fit and can still go. And some uniform can even take them for another term for next year if you're not willing to buy any new one. Some uniforms are still good for them to go back to school with for the first term. And then you can project that you can buy for the remaining terms of the year. So those are the things that you begin to start working through. I know it feels awkward to be thinking school while you're in the midst of Christmas, to be thinking school while you are in the midst of festivity and the holidays. But it's the most, I believe, it affects your budget, which means I'm talking to you from the budget. I'm talking to you from the financial standpoint, which means if you do something about it now and then you take it on to be your habit, you take it on to be your lifestyle, you take it on to be your normal every year, I guarantee, not only it gives you a good feel knowing whatever that you're doing during Christmas, whatever celebration that you're part of, you are content, you have a closure in your heart knowing my children or my grandchildren, they are all good to go to school next year. It gives a totality in feelings.
This is the time that most of the time we receive, the fund from our workplace.
Yeah.
Sometimes we call it a Christmas bonus.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just a bonus for the companies that are doing well.
Yeah.
While we still have the fund, this is the time to buy it. And as you said, because everybody is thinking about the eating, the drinking, and the celebration, this is a good time to go to the bookshop and buy the books that are in the book list from your children. Not only that, in their uniform, as you said. And while that means you become wiser, you become different from the normal. Because at the moment, a lot of people, they're just focusing on the song or the occasion and the celebration, while we are looking for January and February, the starting of school next year, 2024. And most of the time, if we don't do well now, budgeting and allocation of fund now, then come a time that we run to the bookshop. First of all, it'll be already crowded. A lot of people will be there, and most probably the books that we are aiming
looking for are not there.
Not there.
Believe that.
So it's a time that we must, even though it's a celebration mode, but we must be wise enough. As we shared from the beginning of this program, if you have your family, number one priority, all these things you will look out for the starting of the school, what year they will be starting on, the subjects that they will go into. Sometimes we have to sit with them, with our children. We want them to go this way, but what about them? Which career path that they want to take? Because most of the time we just want it our way without considering what is their best subjects and what is their career dream in years to come.
Yes.
So it's just a time of talking, a time of sharing. You can only have that because you have a time together. The time of going out together to town. It's not really what we eat. It's a time, it's a quality time that we spend together. As Randini already shared, 2 or 3 days quality time that you in the Western, come down to Suva, or in Suva, go down to the Western. Try to change the environment, because the environment that they have, most of them, they be in school all the time, all the time. Our son Elijah was sharing with us when our boys went to the farm. They really enjoy in the bush somewhere there in Itasiri, and they enjoy the environment, the trees, the rivers, and the quietness of the environment. Even the environment will assist our young people. Yeah.
I think it's just a value. The value that you place on your family will determine what you do with your family. If you value your family, it just drive you to do things for your family. But if you don't value your family, then whatever you value will actually drive you to do what you're doing. So whatever budget that you have for the season, if you have a plan to take your children to their home or to their village, kono matiningone sele simende na imbulumbulu, singini studu matematikeri tua kembo, or just a family, extended family gathering. There is, always common for us the way that we celebrate. Then also allocate a budget for that. Allocate a budget on what you're going to take, what you're going to bring. Usually when everybody come together, they buy things to come. So if you are in a position to be doing the organizing, and there is a lot of families coming together to be celebrating together, or meeting at one place to celebrate, or all going to the village to celebrate, then it's good to talk about it, plan it out. Like if all of us are going, maybe 5 or 6 families, then allocate each family for whatever that they need to bring. Yeah. Each family bring this, each family bring this. Or if you're having lunch together or 2 days together for Christmas and Boxing Day, then allocate each family on what dish to bring. So that way, everybody contribute and everybody brings something to the table that it can be enjoyed by everybody. So it's not on one budget only, or somebody forking the bill on their own. But it's like, shared and contribution from everybody, and makes it lighter. It makes it easier and more enjoyable. Yeah. And I remember growing up, I think 2 or 3 times my father organized his family to come home for Christmas. And my, memory of those Christmas together, having the whole family out, we were always busy cooking. I don't know what it is, but it's either you cutting up something, or you cooking something, or you laying up the table, or you cleaning up, or you washing the dishes. And that was my, experience. What I remember of all those getting together. Because you are the youngest, and you are stuck in the kitchen, or you are stuck in the dishes. And that's your job number. And the only time I feel that is Christmas is when we all go to church on Christmas Day, and we come back and we all sit there with our good outfits that my mother saw, and we eat. And we eat together. And after that, then it's back to normal. And then you blow the balloons and you do all this kind of stuff. And I always remember my father sitting around, with his family, having grog sessions. And we are always either, decorating the house. It's always, but somehow, it's like that spirit, that festive spirit. Whatever it is, you may be doing chores and doing work, but it's enjoyable. But as you move forward, maybe if you are planning in that Christmas get-together, sometimes we forget about the children, we forget about all the other levels of children, because everything that we plan is more focused on the adults. Yeah. And adults eating, adults partying, adults sitting, adults, it's always adult. And we always forget about the children. And the only time that we remember the children is during their birthdays, that we go out of our way to, to do something for their birthdays. But for Christmas, we can also do that. If you're still planning for your Christmas, you can do a program for your Christmas. Okay, all the children, how many children do we have? How many cousins are there? And when they come, and then allocate within them. Some of them are, old enough to manage the program. So they can do their gift exchange program. As they come, you buy each other's gift, make sure that the gift is only $10 down, whatever you can get for $10 down, or $5, or whatever is affordable, and put out a limit to the cost, so no one buys $50 and then you get a $5 a gift, and then it creates those kind of unnecessary things. So as you plan, we can even plan within the family. Things that we do for the organization, things that we do for maybe for schools, we can also do that for families. So when they come together, there's always also a program for the children. There's also a program for the adults. And there is a get-together that we have our meals and have this gift exchange that everybody have a portion of everything that is happening and they can say that they're part of everything. And most of the time we make the festive season to be so much of food only. So it's like the best food you have, that's the best Christmas. A food or a meal or without lava or without pork, that is not Christmas. So most of the time we define Christmas by the kind of food that we serve or the amount of food that we eat and the quality of food that we do. You know, we can always change it. If you can afford that, that's good. But if you cannot, it's not about the food. It's about that moment that you can, enjoy with the people that you love and enjoy those moments and a moment for you to stand still and say, thank you. Thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for being my children. Thank you for being my husband. Thank you for being my wife. Thank you for just being my family. And just a moment of gratitude that you have come towards the end of the year and you are able to celebrate the end of the year or the Christmas day with your loved ones. What more can you ask for? When you look around and you see the deaths of people, premature death, people they are dying in their teens, they are dying in their 20s, they're dying in their 30s and their 40s, then it makes you realize how precious life can be, because that can be you. And if your life have been spared and if you're still alive, all the more for you to celebrate and not only thank God and thank the people that have been part of your life, being able to come through all those hurdles to be what you can be today. So, sitting on the budget, we all finances.
When you were talking about the Thanksgiving, we were in America last week. For Thanksgiving to them, it's a time that a family come together, just one day, just for one day, just to thank everything. Thank God, thank their family members. It's a time of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because they remember, they remember that what happened in their lives then, the Thanksgiving.
And to thank the life that they have. And that's why it's very important. The celebration that we do must have a meaning. And Thanksgiving to me was very, it's very realistic to me when you think back at one day in America that they sit together as a nation to thank their family, to thank their God. Even in their note, it says, in God that we trust. To thank God and to thank their family members and to thank everything and to thank everyone just for one day.
It's a time of getting together. We were actually driving back from Sacramento to San Rafael on that day. The streets were empty. It's like it comes to a standstill. America comes to a standstill for Thanksgiving. Everybody's positioned with their families, and it's a moment that they spend with their families. It's very unique because nothing is open. All the shops are closed. And only the service providers, like the service station, that you can fill up. That's where you can grab a few things to drink or eat. Other than that, nearly every place, they are closed. The big malls, the small shops, they're basically closed to give time to the Americans, to their people, to go back to their families and give thanks. And it's amazing that you have brought that up. Because we were actually at this bank on an appointment with Auntie Anna, and I know she's tuning in all the way from San Francisco on your weekend job. And this beautiful lady, her name is Brittany, and she continued, and she was saying, "Oh, where are you spending your Thanksgiving?" I said, "I'm not actually from here. I'm traveling from Fiji, and we have some sort of event, and we'll be driving down to San Francisco." And she said, "Oh, I come from a family of 9, and we're all meeting up at my mom's place." And she said, "Before we used to rotate, we have it at somebody's place, and then we keep on moving to all the 9 siblings. When it comes to mine, I don't like it because it's a cleaning up. When everybody's celebrating and everybody's having a good time and have a heart of Thanksgiving, I'm beginning to think I'm going to clean up my house after all these 9 families coming together." And then she said, "For the last 3 years now, we've been having it at my mom's place, and we all go to she said, I always go and try and help my mom as much as possible." And for all the 9 families she was mentioning, that they have they have a duty to perform. What to bring and a duty to perform. Meaning, if this family cooks, bring in a potluck, they're being told. They don't just bring whatever they want to bring. They're being told what to bring. And when they do, then there is a chore or a duty that they need to do after. So during the cleanup, there is a family that does the dishes. There is a family that does the cleaning up. And to bring back their moms home to normal before they all leave to go. So it was amazing just listening to her. And then she was talking, and then she said, and then, she mentioned something. She said, I don't like it that sometimes some of my families, they know fully well what they need to bring, but they don't bring anything, and she was going on. And she said, and also when they're already there, then they don't do anything. So I look at her and I laughed and I said, oh, I thought that only happened to us Fijians. That happened to us. Sometimes we go in, we don't take anything, or we play deaf, like we play blind and deaf. We saw the comps, we read what we're supposed to bring, but we just play deaf. And said, oh, I didn't know, I didn't read. And she was laughing. She said, it happens to us too. We have families like that who come in and act like they never knew what was being told. And they brought more a burden to my mom than what we are supposed to be doing. Yeah. And they don't do the chores at home. As she was rambling on, it reminds me of home. Because I believe that's everywhere. Sometimes when you go in for those events, and now we are approaching the season for it, and as you do, try and consider, if you are meeting up in a place and you're all coming to somebody's house, or to your grandma's house, or to your mom's house, try and, consider the fact that it's a home, one, and second, that person will be cleaning up after everybody leaves. Yeah. So whatever that we can do to help, it will be good. Not just for us to come and enjoy, celebrate and everything, then we up and go, and all those things is left for a handful few to do the cleanup, and also to do all those things that needs to be done that you cannot avoid. So it's just, a reminder to us, if you're all combining somewhere or celebrating together or visiting somebody or all coming together, just consider that thought, that whatever that you are part of, try and see how much you can help in terms of bringing that place back to normal, or helping with the cleaning up after, or the things that you bring to the table as well. Whatever that you can bring. If your finances cannot meet up whatever that you want to bring, get something little, maybe a cake, or maybe a container of ice cream, or maybe something little, just to contribute to that event celebration. So, and also take us back to the budget that I began to talk about. When you have your allocation in the budget, don't try and allocate funds for whatever that you're going to be using for Christmas or for celebration, and put aside or try and achieve or buy things that you need to buy now, like for your schooling and every other thing. All the other finances that you may not need, or if you have allocated to buy gifts, allocate the funds you need to buy your gift. There may be some handouts, there may be some gift tags, there may be some things that you have on your hand over the years, or somebody have brought to you, haven't used well. That's what I do. I keep, if somebody give me something for my birthday, give me something, for our anniversary, I always have this cupboard in my office. I put things in there, things that I don't really use, or things that I think to myself somebody else can use it better. I'll put them aside. So come the time when I need it, I'll go back to this cupboard to look and see these things that I can bless somebody else with. Yeah. And if you have those things, this is a moment for you to take them out and avoid buying gifts for everybody, but you supplement them with something that has been given for you, but you don't use it well, but you can use the same items or the same gift items to bless people around you that you want to buy a gift on, and save your finances on the other hand. And those are the ways that you can save your funds. And if you haven't done that, well, project it for next year. Kaya kay sola ko may resulya may naloloma na matububale na singin sudo sa loloma ni anniversary. Kaya ko kilay ko na sangin ni bakay nga takapabinaka siya vanga takasara bititi ko baka tiki-tiki. May ada may na singin ni sudo e sola kay tuya ikuro ni ko tatalemay ikuro ni may vanga takatale may loloma beira kwera wala kabiko balate ko kilay ron yung bulakina e sona ilabo. And yeah, those are the things that you can play around with it. Work around it from your own. And not only that, if you know you're having it in your house, Then try and put aside the things that you know that is only befitting for that occasion, and put aside the things that you know that a family still needs to continue to live with after that function. So not for the function to come and chew into your family needs, and then when the function is finished, then you're left with nothing. Put aside what your family still needs to continue with, and also allocate a separate budget for what the family needs to come and enjoy those, for that function in itself. I'm just thinking financially. And whatever that you use, try and write it down. Because when you write it down, then you begin to see the figure, and automatically you just question your own self to say, okay, did I use that money? If I'm allocating this money for this and allocate this money for that, how much can I cut back, or how much can I save? And if somebody come in and say, hey, don't worry about that, don't worry about the chicken, I'll get the chicken for you. And if you have written the chicken as your list, then you look at the figure, 130 or 150 for a bag of chicken, then you know this 150 I can save. And whatever money you save, don't keep on leaving it in the same pool. Take the money you save, throw it in another pool. Either in the pool you're saving that you cannot access, because if you need it, then you'll walk it back to the bank to get it, but you've taken it off your budget. Or if there are things that need to be supplemented with that, then you make the decision by going through your list. I will recommend that whatever you do for this season, now that we are on the 2nd day of December, please write it down. Write it down. Get a book for your budget, write things down. Little and big things, write it down. Because when you write it down, it helps you to spend, and also it helps you to manage, it helps you to control, and also it helps you to save. And that's what the books do. The book can do for you. So the books help a lot.
Because of that planning, then you will not misuse the fund allocated or supposed to be for January and Feb. And most of the time we use all the money during the festive season just because we want to be like other people. The times are now changing. The lifestyle is now changing, and we cannot afford to live as we lived before, 10, 20 years ago, spending on December like this at the end of the year. This is the time to be more wise as we go into the end of the year, as we are allocated with fund. Sometimes people, they will get paid today and there will be no work, so that means there will be no salary till the early first week or second week of January. So all the money that is being paid now is all paid for those accounted for. And most of the time we spend so much here because of the gathering, the occasion, and the function that we love to do it. But because we don't plan well, when comes next year, 2024, we are high and dry. And that's where most of the problem comes in. And this is the time too that there's a lot of festival happening, a lot of party. We must be very wise in the time that we spend, the time and the resource that we spend on unnecessary spending, because we must remember that we have a family to look after.
After the festive
season. It does not mean that everybody doing this way, that we have to all go this way. It's always good to be different. It's always good to be, when you have your priority right, you will always be different. Because the world today is just going into festive and drinking and partying, forgetting the most important thing, that is their marriage, children, their family. And if we don't look into that and become matured, full of wisdom, then we are all in a flow. Come second week of December, third week of December, fourth week of December, when we settle with the truth, when the truth comes back, the reality hits our home, then we start to realize the cupboard are empty, the wallet are empty, everything becomes empty, up and dry, and we don't know where to turn to. So, as a family table talk, we are sharing this morning that we need to be more matured and be better self than all those years of just roaming around and following one another's experience. And the thing that they decide, the world pattern is not always right. Majority is not always right. So this is a time to be different. Look deep into your relationship. Look deep into your family. See and focus on your children's education when 2024 comes.
Yeah, I believe the most ideal will be the celebration with your family, like with your immediate family, and to tell them that you're grateful, like the Thanksgiving for America, where all the families come together, the close-knit family, to say thank you and thank God, for the lives given, and if you have saved up for that, that's very, very good. And also, as we embark onto the December and its perks of spending, then we still have rent to pay, we still have electricity and water bills. The bills never change, it stays. Whether it's Christmas or January or any other month, the bill stays. So those are the things that you need to consider as well, that they're not affected.
Yes.
Try and factor that in your budget as well, and just try and be more matured in the way that you handle your finances. Because there are people who will come and enjoy the money that you have, but they will turn their back after you finish with all your money, and they will move on to their better living that they haven't used their money, while you exhaust all the money that you have to bring about that enjoyment, bring about that party, and bring about something that you can say that makes everybody happy. But at the end of the day, all those other people have got something to go back to while you don't. So this is a good time for you to rethink the way that you spend your money, and review the kind of crowd that you are part of, and also the kind of parties that you are conducting, or that you are picking to be the celebration mode for your festive season. So, and that day just come and it goes. Christmas you prepare so much for, so much food, and a lot of money on gifts for everybody just for that day. And that day comes, and that day goes. The day leading up to is so exciting, because you're leading up to, you're so excited to Christmas. But try and feel this moment for this year, and try and understand where I'm coming from. The leading up to is so exciting, I guarantee you, up until the day. But when the day happens, on the 25th, when it finishes, everything about the excitement leading up to and the day, it comes to an end. And you look back and you said, all that money and everything that I've done now is done deal after today. Not until you feel that moment, and then it will help you to review the way you spend your money leading up to and on the day. For you to know the real meaning of Christmas. It's not about what you buy, it's not about the food that you eat,
about the day.
It's about the value, and about the day that you just commemorate that Christ was born, and He is the reason for the season. And not everything else is the reason, but He is the reason for the season, which means a thanksgiving that you are alive, and thanksgiving for your family, that you are able to be with your family comes the end of the year. So allow that to be to take your cue from there for going out now into December. And as you get excited, not only get excited and get carried away, but have a hold on your wallet, and keep your purse closed until, and be stable, and whatever that is happening out there, don't be enticed by it. Don't get carried away by the spirit that is out there, just by spending and spending and spending. No, you take one moment at a time. You think it well. You look at it, you hear it, you come back, you rethink it, and you reevaluate, and then it tells you when to open your wallet or when to do that spend. And try and be more matured with the way that you approach your spending for this festival season. It's just the beginning of December, but we want to be the voice for you to hear. From the beginning of December, we'll continuously say the same thing until that day comes. So maybe some people can save a few dollars, or can save a few hundreds, or can save their saving that they've worked so hard for the year, and be wise in their usage, because you will need to make sure that whatever you have saved, it's enjoyed by the people you love. It goes back to your value. If you value your family, make sure your family, they enjoy the value of your saving for the year, or what you have gone out to invest in for this December celebration. Your family has to be the taker of that, because you value them and you love them. And not only then, it includes you as part of that equation. And don't allow whatever that you have saved, all those funds, all those money, everything that you have sacrificed to save up for the year, And for other people just to come and enjoy it and go and move on with their lives, and they already have establishment and things of their lives, but only the spur of the moment, only for that moment, only for that day, only for this season, that they will become part of your life, and then they take away everything and anything that you have saved, and then you're left with nothing. If you spend your saving on the valuable things, or people with value around you, or people who close to you, then you can always say in your heart that it's well spent, because I feel that way. If I spend thousands on my children or my grandchildren by paying for their airfares to travel with me, if I spend thousands for them to travel with me or to go for a cruise, or I take my family with me, I never look at the value. I don't look at the value of money that I use. I look at the value of my children, and I look at the value of my grandchildren. They're so valuable and they mean a lot to my life. They are my life. So when I'm spending that money, I don't question it. I don't think twice about it, because I know I'm spending it on the people that means a lot to me. They are my life. They are my family. And I feel that way. And I would like to bring that thought to you. Whatever that you're spending, you will only spend it on the people that are valuable to you, people that brings value to your life, and that goes for your family. And if you don't have any value for your family, then you're spending it the way you want to spend it. If you emphasize more value to your friends or more value to everybody else around apart from your family, then it automatically shows on your bonding with your family, like your family is not valuable to you. So maybe this is a moment, or this is a time, or 2023 becomes the year for you to relook, review, and reprioritize your life, because whatever that you value here, that's where your money goes. So your budget for 2023 December really depends